Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Friday Focus. It's hard to believe that we're just 2 days away from regathering here on the RCC campus for our on-site, on-campus worship services, 8 o'clock, 9:15, and 10:45 this Sunday. I am so excited to be able to see some of you, and I can't wait for you to come back. So I thought what we'd do in this episode this week is we would just take a few moments and just kind of show you what you can expect when you come here on Sunday morning and you worship with us. All right, so come on and follow me. Let's go. So when you get here to the door, we're going to do the very best that we can to minimize how often you'll need to touch a door handle and those kinds of things. And so when you get here to the door, somebody will be here. They'll be wearing a mask. They'll have gloves, and they will greet you, welcome you, let you know that they are glad to see you. They'll be holding the door open for you, and so you'll be able to walk right on in. Let's keep going. When we get in here to the foyer, we're just going to ask that you practice social distancing. You will need to have a mask on in order to be able to come into the building. And we've got some reminders here on the floor that will just kind of remind you that we're doing social distancing here in the foyer. So if you would, as best as you can, just kind of stay spread out, keep some distance between you and your family and the other families who will be here on Sunday morning as you come in. As you come over here, we'll have these doors propped open for you so you won't have to touch anything in order to get in. We'll have a volunteer standing here at the door that will ask you how many need to be seated, and I'll show you the seating here in just a moment, but you'll let them know, and then we'll show you to seat. If you have kids, we've got that covered for you. Right over here at this station, you can grab some crayons. There's single pack usages of crayons. So you can grab 3 crayons, you can grab some activity pages, all kinds of different things that we'll have available for the kids. Families are gonna have to worship together. Kids Zone's gonna be closed for a while. Early childhood area is going to be closed for a while as well. We apologize for that. That's the best that we can do at this point. And so grab some crayons, some activity pages. They'll give your kids something to do if they need something to do during the service. Now, if you come over here, our restrooms will be open, so you'll be able to use the restroom while you're here. Our water fountains will not be in use, and there will be no coffee bar on Sundays for a while either. Right over here, though, we'll have some small bottles of water, so if you need a water for some reason, you'll be able to come over here and you can grab the water. Let's go ahead and head on into the worship center. So when you get here to the door, somebody will be here, ask you how many are in your party, kind of like if you go to a restaurant or something like that. And then there's hand sanitizer right here inside the door. We would encourage you to sanitize on your way in, sanitize on your way out. So feel free to use the hand sanitizer. If you have your own, you can bring it with you, and you're welcome to use that as well. When you come into the worship center, it's going to look a little different. We've got everybody kind of spread out so that we can practice social distancing. And so when you come in, if there's 4 of you, we'll show you to 4 seats, and you'll be able to enjoy the service there. Once you're in your seat, if you're comfortable doing so, you can go ahead and take your mask off at that time. If at any point you get up out of your seat, other than during the service, and you need to walk into the building, then please put your mask back on. We're asking that you wear a mask while you're out of your seat. But as long as you're in your seat here in the worship center, if you're comfortable doing so, you can go ahead and take your mask off. So we have 139 seats that are set up in here. They're kind of all spread out. Once we run out of a certain number of seats, if you are here to worship and we don't have seats available for you, we'll take you down to the Kids Zone. That's an overflow area. We'll have seats set up down there for you as well. And you'll be able to watch the service on the big screen there in the Kids Zone area, and you can still worship together as a family. Now, I realize, like I said in my video last week, I realize that many of you have sat in the same seat in the same area for years, maybe even decades, right? And so you may be asked to sit on this side of the room when you're used to sitting on that side of the room. You may be asked to sit up front when you're used to sitting in the back, or vice versa. And so we would just ask that you please be gracious, that you please be patient with our volunteers. They're just going to be able to show you to the seats that we have available. And so if you would just take those seats, we would really appreciate it very much when they show you where you might be able to sit during the worship service. During the worship service, we are going to sing. I've had several people ask me that. We're going to sing together as a congregation, so Ethan's going to lead us like he always does, and he'll do a great job like he always does as well. And so we're looking forward to just getting together with you and just celebrating and singing and lifting our hearts to God in praise and worship and what He's done for us in Jesus. And so I hope you're excited about that as well. So if you'll come on in, I'll show you a couple of other things here just real quickly. Obviously, we can't pass trays, and so on your way in, you're going to get prepackaged communion. It's going to look something like this. On the top, it's got the wafer. On the bottom, it's got the juice. Our communion is going to move to the end of the service for all three services. And so in all three services, once I'm finished preaching, I'll pray at the end of my message, and then we'll have a communion thought, and then we'll take communion together. We're doing it at the end of the service so that as you walk out, we'll have garbage cans at each door, and you'll be able to just drop your empty communion cup into the garbage can on your way out. And so that'll take place at the end of all three services. Now, obviously, we can't pass trays, so that's why we have prepackaged communion. We can't pass the offering trays either. So if you follow me, here's how you can give your offering while you're here on Sunday morning. Right here at the back of the room, we've just got these offering boxes. We've got one on each side of the room. And so before the service, after the service, feel free to come. They're locked, they're secure. And so just feel free to come and drop your offering there if you'd like. We appreciate your generosity. You all have been so generous during this time. And I can't thank you enough for your faithfulness and your commitment to giving. And so if you want to continue to give and you'd rather not do it online, or you don't want to drop it by during the week or mail it, then please feel free to just place those in the boxes here when you're here on Sunday morning. You'll also notice here at the back doors that we have do not enter signs. Our main hallway here is going to be closed off. So the only way that you'll be able to get into the building are through the two main entrances. The kids zone entrance, please understand that it's going to be closed as well. We need everybody to enter the building through the two main entrances, and then you'll be able to come into the worship center through the sets of side doors. And that's the only way in, and it'll be the only way out. So the main hallway will be closed off. We'll have these closed off as well. The stairwells will be closed off too. Basically, you'll be able to come to the worship center or worship in the kids zone on Sunday mornings, so that we can just limit the exposure here in the building. And so I think that pretty much kind of wraps up what we're looking at as far as being here on Sundays. Again, we're just excited to have you here. We can't wait. We're going to continue in this series that we've been in over the last several weeks that we're calling The Last Chapter, where we're just taking a walk through 2 Timothy, and we're just talking about Paul's last writing in the New Testament. And so it's the last chapter because it's the last writing in the New Testament from him, but also it's the last chapter of his life. He's in prison in Rome. He's about to be executed. He knows this, and so he writes this really personal, intimate letter to Timothy. And so on Sunday, we're going to finish off chapter 3. And we're just going to talk about what we need to do as we keep on going in our faith. What do we need to do as we keep on going in our relationship with Jesus? It's a very appropriate topic for us to talk about as we regather after being gone and separated for 14 weeks. It's an opportunity for us to regather, and so we're just going to talk about what we need to do to keep on going. So I hope you'll join us. If you're not comfortable joining us on Sunday, totally understand. When you're ready, we'd love to welcome you back, and so just take your time. If you get up Sunday morning, you're not feeling really well, please stay home and join us again when you're feeling better. But look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 8 o'clock, 9:15, or 10:45. Have a great weekend, everyone.